All right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas, welcome to another episode of the Coach Travis Chrisman Weekly Podcast. This is episode number 2, season 2. This is the podcast where we talk Ingleside Mustangs football. And on the screen, I have the athletic director, head football coach for the Mustangs, Mr. Travis Chrisman. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Always good to be here with you, Gabe.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you very much once again. And Coach is going to be coming on every Wednesday. It'll be uploaded either Wednesday night or Thursday morning of the next day, and you can catch it there and hear what Coach has to say about his football program and his players. And we'll be talking about other levels probably another week or two when they get started. But Coach, you had a scrimmage this past Friday in Toloso Midway. I was there. It was great. I'd like to break that down with you. And if you're ready, we'll get started. And I want to talk first off. You guys in that scrimmage got the ball. Well, Toloso Midway got the ball. You guys went on defense first. Ingleside did, but then you
Yep.
came back offensively, coach. And I've got to say. That first drive looked just like a well-oiled machine. I mean, it was perfect. The first pass, kind of little outside and incomplete. But
Mhm.
after that, I don't think a receiver dropped the ball. There was a mix of running and passing. Sawyer looked really good. Those receivers were getting open. Beautiful pass to, I believe it was Jordan, to
Yep.
get you inside the 20. And then we scored. I'd like to get your thoughts just on that drive, Coach. What did you see from your team as far as execution that went all the way down and saw a touchdown for the Mustangs?
Yeah, no, that was extremely positive for us as a staff, because we've got a lot of new faces out there, and guys that are returning to Letterman, but not necessarily starters. And so it was really, really encouraging for us to watch those guys go out there and execute. And last year we lived on the big play. I mean, we had over 70 explosive plays last year. And so we scored a lot of points that last year by just 3 and 4 play drives. And so one thing that we knew that we were probably going to have to do this year is grind out some drives. And so whenever we were able to do that, go 11 plays, drive it 70 yards and score on our first drive, man, that's best case scenario. So we were fired up about that. Like you said, we had a good mix of run and pass. Rotated a couple running backs, a couple receivers too. Like you said, Sawyer made some good decisions throwing the ball, have multiple read options that we run and made good decisions with that. We took care of the football. So yeah, I mean that first drive was awesome. We were pumped up about that.
Yeah, I really liked it. And of course, we've talked last week too about the receivers. So we know we have the receivers there. And TJ and I were like, hey, this is, when he got there a little later, I said, man, that first drive was good.
Hmm.
And then I came back and saw the video and I was like, wow, it was just impressive. The receivers were able to get open. Just, I mean, well executed series going down the field and scoring. Coach, now I want to talk a little bit about the live quarter. That was a little different for us.
Hmm.
Just overall, I wanted to get your thoughts. What did you see from the team offensively in that quarter? What did you see? Did Toloso change something on that defense that kind of got us a little bit more into a struggle where we couldn't really get anything going on? At least the first 2 drives of that live quarter.
Yeah, no, we were able to move the ball a little bit, but not as effective. One thing that helps with a team like TM, they're carrying 50 kids on varsity. We had 30.
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
so all of our guys are playing both ways. And we're having guys rotate all over the place. And so, and not making excuses at all because we got to get in better shape. But when you have fresher legs out there, it's definitely an advantage to you as a unit. But our kids just have to get in better shape. Like I said, a school our size with the numbers that we have, the majority of our kids are going to have to play both ways. And so, it took us a couple weeks to get used to it last year too, but I feel like we're on the right track with it. Once they got into that mode and into that quality shape that they're used to being in, then we're ready to go. So it's still early on. Didn't execute on a couple plays there in that live quarter portion of it, but you know, we still had several explosive plays, and
Mm.
so unfortunately, we had to end the scrimmage on like a 35-yard scramble.
Yeah.
So if we're able to continue that drive, if it's a real game, then we're pretty fired up because we just had an explosive play. Sawyer got out of the pocket, stepped up, and then went and grabbed like 30 yards with his legs. So if that is continuing to go in, then we're trending in the right direction. So overall, I mean, especially offensively, I thought our offensive line played pretty well too. Give kudos to the Hogs up front. Those guys did
Yes.
a really good job. And they're the most solitary unit we have. Those guys love being around one another. They love working. They love doing things the right way. Those dudes get after it. And so, we're really looking forward to what our offensive line can produce for us this year.
And coach, I gotta say, because if you weren't at the scrimmage, those boys and team are big.
Yeah,
I mean, they're huge.
no
They got
doubt.
a
Got
big
a
D
lot of size.
line. Yes, they do the offensive line. So when they're pounding on you, man, it wears and tears. But I just didn't realize how I knew they had some big boys, but when you see them out on the field, they're big in a
Mhm.
lot of areas. And so they had some size definitely on that D line. Let's now break it down a little bit, coach, position by position, and Sawyer, a guy that's coming in first year here as the QB.
Yep.
And like I said, I thought he did well. Just what did you see from him overall in the play, as far as, like you said, the scramble, being able to
Yeah.
see a lane and go, and then some of the passing that he did, because I thought that was great overall as well.
No, no doubt. No, Sawyer showed me that he's more comfortable back there than I thought he was. And so he was able to take advantage of some things like you're talking about that slant to Jordan. It was kind of a pre-snap read that we were talking about that if we wanted to go front side, great. But if we had a ton of grass to the single receiver, which was where Jordan was, then let's take advantage of it. And, kudos to him. He took his roll step and then just drilled him on a slant. And we got about 15 yards out of it. So the other thing that he showed was a lot of moxie in the pocket. And even if, there were a couple where we mishandled the snap, but he was able to find it quickly and step up in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, one or two times was able to step up, go scramble. And then another time, it was our last play in the control part of the scrimmage. He, drops a snap, picks it back up, steps in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield. We've got Jay Suerta coming across the middle, hits him for a first down, and that's another positive play to end on. So, he showed really good pocket presence for someone who has not spent a lot of time playing that position in his career. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Now, coach, and when you look at that overall, if you see the video and you have time, yeah, he's very impressive for someone that's starting to play in that position. You almost think he's going to get better as he gets more, as you get another scrimmage in, you get into that non-district. By the time you get to district, he should feel very comfortable in that position, and he does have that ability to make plays, like you said, when it went down, he's just really quick to pick it up and go, and
Yep.
even and get positive yards and not lose and put that offense in a situation with second or third and long. So there were a lot of things when you watching that scrimmage that he did really well, that you think, okay, he's going to continue to get better as he builds that chemistry with those receivers at running back and
Yep.
feels more comfortable. But he definitely has big playmaking ability to. So defenses are going to have to watch out
Yeah.
for his run ability, I think. And then let's go to the running back. So you said there's
Mhm.
quite a few, and you were kind of bringing them in. We didn't see it like last year where Nathan Ambrose was your one guy. People
Right.
coming in and out. I think there's an advantage to that, coach, because you got some fresh legs coming in all the time. What can you tell us about that? And what did you see from your running backs in this scrimmage?
Yeah. I mean, it's there's not overall carry wise, I think combined all of our running backs right now have a combined like maybe 8 to 10 career carries on varsity. So right now it's kind of by committee, and we're gonna ride the hot hand whenever we have one. Otherwise, like you said, there's definitely an advantage to having fresh legs back there. So, we've got 4 or 5 back there right now. There's a couple that are starting to set themselves apart a little bit, but it's still early. There's by no means a definitive starter who's going to take every single snap right now. So they're all getting a shot at it, and of course that's proven through practice, in beforehand, before getting to that scrimmage of the game. And so this last scrimmage versus London is going to be another good indicator on who's going to get probably a little bit more playing time than the rest. But by no means is it just one trick pony right now, like we had with Nate last year. So we feel we're comfortable handing the ball off to multiple guys right now. So it's just a part of our game plan right now. And like you said, fresh legs is a part of it.
Yeah, number 21 was running the ball, and I know that's not their real number or jersey that they'll wear. Who was number 21 that was running? He started off the scrimmage in that first drive.
It's probably Roman Davila.
Roman Dublin. And he's great. Small back, just kind of gets behind that line and gets
Yep.
explosive. And you see him, and then boom, he's up 3, 4 yards, and he's just getting
Yep.
positive yards. So I think there's definitely an advantage to that. Having those three, like you said, 4 guys that you can bring in at any time and use them, I think it's going to really benefit us as we get into the non-district and the district as well. And then let's get talked to about the receivers, a group that I know really well, and I love those guys. We saw Javi, I think if he was number 12, make some really great plays.
Mhm.
Jordan, you're seeing in this scrimmage that I think that's the strength of the offense, in my opinion, because these guys they can get themselves open and they don't drop a lot of balls. And you saw that in that
No.
first drive. What was your and then the other what I think you said, I'm not sure too
Yep.
familiar with them, but what did you think overall of what you saw from your receivers in the scrimmage?
No, I thought they played well too. I thought our receivers played well too. With we had a couple mistakes here and there, but I mean that's every position. Every position is going to make mistakes, and they did too. We had busted a couple routes, a couple route responsibilities, but one thing we also try to hang our hat on here with our receiving group too, and our receivers Coach McHugh does a good job of emphasizing it too. Is our guys got to be great exterior blockers, and so. I thought they did a pretty good job with that too. And then, like you said, found ways to get open. When plays broke down, they didn't just stop. Didn't they tried to get open, make things happen. Like on that last play we're talking about with Huerta, he was able to get to his landmark, saw that Sawyer was escaping, moved to the open zone, got the ball, got forward, and took about 9 guys to bring him down. So
Yeah.
our guys are fighting for that extra yard, which we love to see. So those guys are gritty, and so we're gonna have to rely on them to make some big plays this year and be consistent. And on top of that, all those guys are playing defense too. So
Mhm.
it's a lot that they're being asked of, but there's no doubt in our minds that they can't do it.
Yeah, and hopefully, you'll get in better shape. This is the first scrimmage, right? So
Yep,
they're gonna get in shape in week, 2, 3, 4 weeks after a month. They're gonna be in a lot better shape than what you see now.
for
And
sure.
and pretty much every team is kind of battling that right now. Coach, I like when you roll out Sawyer. I just think when you roll him out, there's so many more options. It seems like to me. I was watching the video.
Mhm.
He can run, he can pass, and he's real quick. Those guys get open. So that rollout, I think instead of sitting in the pocket might really
Yeah.
benefit us. I think because he just seems like he's going to get more comfortable in that part. So overall, Mustang fans, if you weren't there, I think you saw, Coach, what you wanted to see. You wanted to see some toughness, some grit, and I think we saw that from them from that whole scrimmage. Now let's go over to the defensive side now and talk. And so what did you see? Like I said, that offensive line, if you weren't there, there were some big boys in
Yep.
every position, guards, tackle. I mean, my goodness, they were just huge when I saw them. What did you see about with your D line, your front seven, and your
Mhm.
linebackers in the scrimmage?
Yeah. So we went in with missing two of our starting linebackers, one due to injury and the other one got really, really sick. So we had to have some other guys step up. Thought they did a pretty decent job. Our D line was all intact. Thought that they were able to get a good punch up front. There's a lot of returning experience on that D line. So like Javier Solis and Manny Hinojosa, Parker DeLacy, all returning starters, and then Nate Edlund's pulling double duty at end and sometimes a little three technique, and then he's our left tackle on offense too. And I thought those guys did a really good job of establishing the line of scrimmage. For them, they've got to occupy that front five, sometimes six, and so it's up to those backers to take care of the rest. And with Figueroa over there at TM, that dude's a stud. That dude is a stud. They're running back, and so for us, that's a really good gauge to see what a district like what a really good district back or even a playoff area style back is.
Mhm.
Because that dude's good. That dude's really, really good. And so in order to see that speed early on, because he's really patient behind his tackles, they ran a lot of GT and then ran some zone as well. But him being able to hide out behind those massive guards and tackles that he got to run behind and be patient, and he's able to explode uh, and get open and run down the sideline. He's really good back. So it was good for us to see that. It was good for us to know what that speed is like and be able to change our angles and attack angles in pursuit. And um, is there room to improve? Absolutely. But like you said, we're pretty satisfied with where we're in that first scrimmage. Obviously, there's, like I said, a lot to improve on, but we are happy with our initial first scrimmage.
Yes, when you set up the scrimmage with TM, I thought, in my mind, I said, This is good because Damian Figueroa is probably going to be. You might see one or two, but this is about the best that you're going to see around here. So I mean, he's one of the best, right?
He's a
And so
dude.
right off the bat, being able to see what he does in that line, and having that D line, having to go up against those big guys in this running back, I think can only make us better. So it was great. And like you said, Coach, it was they were competing, they were hitting, they were
Mhm.
they were tackling, and that was great. It's just with that line. And he gets to that outside. I mean, he's a dangerous back, obviously. And
Yep.
then let's talk about the safeties and the corners. What did you see from that? Obviously, Jordan going both ways. I'm not sure if anybody
Yep.
else is. So, what did you see from them? Because TM did throw the ball a little bit more than I thought they were going to throw. And of course, it's a scrimmage, so Coach Ferriel
Sure.
definitely wants to get it going. But what did you see as far as the coverage from the safeties and the corners?
And I thought we did a pretty good job, especially on the exterior with our corners. I thought our safeties played well too. Our safeties were able to fit downhill really well in the run game. Really did like that. We had a little bit of confusion in the open quarter portion of it in terms of I think we had a post by two that ended up coming wide open. I think they overthrew it, but just had a little bit of post snap confusion in that. But um, what I do like about our safeties is that they're quick to trigger, they're quick to fit, they know where to fit. It's just a matter of knowing when that play action is coming, knowing when those route switches are coming in, and who's got who. So I know that they're going to get it down. They're going to get it nailed. Like I said, Huerta is one of those safety. He was one of our safeties out there, but he played corner last year, so he's played safety in the past. But it's just getting him comfortable again back there. And then Sawyer played a whole bunch of safety on the back end as well. And so I'm comfortable with who's back there. I think they're doing a good job, and they're going to continue to develop.
I think so too, Coach. I saw Sawyer out there, and he has some good coverage. Sometimes they try to go down to his man, and they couldn't get anything there because he was well covered. So you saw that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those guys like you're talking about. I think we got a good secondary there that I think is going to help us because we're going to see some passing, obviously,
Yep.
when you get into district. So it's going to be good to have those guys out there. And again, Mustang fans overall, I would say I was there, really impressed. It's just week one, but we did some really good things. I think that the Mustangs can build on going into scrimmage number 2. And just remember, you can catch this podcast on the MPND Sports Network social media pages. That's our YouTube channel. That is our Facebook. That is our Twitter page. And you can also catch it on the audio version. So if you have your working or you're driving and you can't really see the video, you can hear Coach and I on his podcast on Spotify. That is just search Premier Sports Talk, look for the GT Sports logo, and then you can kind of look at what episode we have there because every podcast that I have here with Coach Chrisman will also be uploaded in the morning on Spotify, so you can catch it there as well. Coach, I now want to jump over to the scrimmage. Is that tomorrow or that's Thursday,
Yes.
right?
Now it's tomorrow.
It's Thursday, and
Yep.
so the lower level start at 6, and then you said varsity after that.
Right.
All right, so that's going to be in Ingleside. Please come on out and check out and see the Mustangs in action. CC London will be coming into town, Coach, and that is a very well coached. You talked about that. Great athletes. They just have a great round athletes. It'll be another good scrimmage for us to see these guys. What can you tell us about London? Is this? I've never really seen them except highlights. Are they more of a run? Are they more of a pass?
They can do it all. They're pretty balanced. I think that in kind of seeing some of their stuff from last year and watching them and keeping up with other Coastal Bend teams, like they're able to throw the ball pretty well. They've got speedy receivers. They've got a returning quarterback who's talented. I got some big linemen too. And so I think they're going to be similar to us and kind of like what we looked like last year in terms of how the ball gets divvied out. I think they're going to take whatever's given to them but also, they're not going to be afraid to run the ball, but they're going to try to get the ball to their quick receivers and get to the outside now. So like you said, they're a really well coached bunch, a lot of success, and I think it'll be really good for both of us.
Well, that's going to be good if she said that because LaFedia comes in week 1, and if you know anything about LaFedia, and I've seen them, that's what they do. They throw the ball. They've got a lot of speed, so it's good that you're going to be able to see a team like that in London coming up. So definitely that scrimmage is tomorrow night at Mustang Stadium. Things start up at 6 o'clock, so plenty of time to get there. Check out the JV and the freshmen, because I saw some of that too when I got there. And I was really impressed with the drive that I saw from the junior varsity toward the end of the game there as well. And so definitely come on out and stick around for the varsity, because this will be the last scrimmage of 2024. As then next week we start week 1 at home. I believe it's against LaFedia, correct? Is that what I saw,
Yes,
Coach?
sir.
LaFedia. So definitely want to come out and support the Mustangs this year. Coach, I do want to jump back to the scrimmage just for a minute and talk a little bit about the second unit. I thought I saw Javi there, if he was a quarterback,
Yep.
and he threw a pass that I thought was just great. And I saw the coaches kind of get pumped up on that pass. But this is another guy that, God forbid, if something is to happen, right? It seems like you got a backup quarterback that can really step in and keep things going. Talk about his performance with the QB position, but just overall your offense and defense from that second unit and what you saw.
Yeah, no, Javi made several really big plays for us. There was one, it was one of the first ones in the controlled part where I believe that we had mishandled a snap and he picks it up, gets out of the pocket, scrambles, throws on the run, and throws a dart to Adam Gavea.
Mm-hmm.
And then Adam goes for another about 20 and tries to truck the corner on the sideline. So it took something that started out as negative and made it to a extreme positive. So, that was really, really good. He also threw a wheel route to Lance Van Meter, who's a sophomore for us, toward the end of the controlled portion as well. Threw a good ball there. And, like you said, it's a really, a lot of people are in a worse spot than we are. In terms of if Javi has to play some quarterback, then we're okay. Like we don't really have to change our offense at all. He has experience in being the backup last year, and then too, like he's a full-time starter anyway, so he understands the offense. So with him operating the twos, we're still really comfortable with it.
Yeah, no, he's an athlete. I saw him last year. This kid works hard, and he'll do whatever it seems like you ask him to do. He gives 100% from what I've seen in the games last year and what I saw in the scrimmage. And coach, just your other levels as well. I saw a play toward the end where the junior varsity looked really, really good in that play. I got there a little late for their scrimmage. And then I also saw the freshmen, and you're right. There's a whole bunch of them. That's a big group. But what did you
Yep.
see from the other levels in the scrimmage versus Tolosa Midway?
Yeah, like I said, the JV started off a little slow. Defensively played really well early on in that controlled part of it. Thought the defense did a really good job. Offensively, we had a really slow start. Almost seemed like we were a little shell shocked at first at some of the size that they were going against, but we got to remind them, hey, those dudes are the same age as y'all. So let's get past that and let's just do what we do. Freshman wise, we're able to score a couple touchdowns with the freshmen. Again, there was a couple wide eyes on that freshman group, but once they got settled in, thought they did a really good job. We've got some weapons kind of all over the place. It's a group that we're really excited about, and the amount of them is what we're excited about too. I mean, we've got like 42 of them right now. I think we have 42 freshmen, which usually it seems like in the past Ingleside's used to about 20, and that's a pretty good class. And so with 42 right now, we're really excited about what that class can do for us going forward. But overall, with the sub varsities too, especially with those freshmen, it's their first experience in high school ball. So going against somebody else. So we're happy with what they were able to do too. It's just a matter of them getting comfortable in what we're doing and not having to think as much as they are trying to right now, and just get them to react and play ball. So we're excited about both groups. Have high expectations for them moving forward.
Yeah, like I said, I saw a whole bunch of them. I know some of them left with parents, I think, before, but just when I watched them out there after their game, I was like, wow, that was just a big group. And talking 40 plus for a freshman group, and hopefully they'll all stick around through the next 3 years. That just gives you so much flexibility, right? Like with depth and positions and what you can do. I mean, my God. So that is something definitely to look forward to. Ingleside Mustang fans is, the big group that comes in, a lot of depth, and we need that depth. Injuries occur in football, and so to be able to have that and have that amount of kids coming up at the freshman level is really going to look good for us. And
I
so
actually got
again,
that. I actually got that twisted. It's our eighth graders that have 42, but our freshmen have 33. Still a
33.
good number.
Wow. So you have 30. So we
Yeah,
have
still a good number.
33. So we have 30 plus as a freshman and 40 plus coming up at that eighth grade. Wow.
Yep.
So we're in really good shape. I didn't know that
Yep.
about the middle school. So that's great, coach. I'm happy to hear that and looking forward to seeing what they're going to do this year and coming up in the next couple of years. So again, Mustang fans, a scrimmage tomorrow they're at Mustang Stadium. Come on out. Everything starts at 6. You can catch freshmen and JV. JV plays on one side of the field, freshman on the other, and then after that, it's the full field for the varsity. And as you said, Coach, it was a lot of things that were impressive in scrimmages. You know, it's not about win or loss; it's about getting better. It's about seeing what you have to work on in these 2 games. To get ready for the non-district. And so overall, coach, I got to agree with you. I think I saw some really good things, especially that opening drive was just so impressive with the decision-making, the receivers not dropping the ball, getting open and then leading into a touchdown. So I'm hoping that we're going to see a lot more of that in week 1 and moving forward.
No doubt.
And so absolutely. And I want to remind everybody, you can catch this podcast tonight or latest tomorrow morning on all MPND Sports Network social media outlets, our pages, our YouTube channel, and you can also catch it on Spotify. Coach, before I let you go, I just wanted to, if you have any final thoughts, anything you want to add before we bring you back on next Wednesday.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Coach, thank you very much. Once again, good luck tomorrow, and then we will see you on Wednesday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.